So Arsenal 3, Southampton nil. In the end, it turned out to be a very comfortable afternoon
Mm.
stroll at the Emirates Stadium against a very poor Southampton side that are kind of pulling themselves into a relegation battle this season. Kenny, you was at the game. For anybody who hasn't seen the fan cams, give everybody your little breakdown of how you thought the game went, mate.
Well, it's one where Southampton came at tracks really well. I think what's happening is that they broke down our lines. Got numbers forward. Like Redmond played well, looked good. I thought the strong running of Walter Peters and also Teller, they were like key players in Southampton's kind of early match domination. And I was saying to Jason, who's sitting next to me, who's a big fan of yours as well, and I said to him, "Well, Southampton got to score now. If they don't score now, then they're going to regret it because you have to, when you're away from home against the top side, you score when you're on top." And there were shots by Wall Press, which were obviously from distance, but saves were made. Teller forced a save from Ramsdale as well. But when we got the first goal, which I thought was against the run of play, but again, it was when we broke quickly, put some great passes in. Saka's put a first-time ball, Lacazette's put the ball in the net. And I think after that, physically, Southampton might have been there, but mentally, when you go a goal down, especially when you dominate the game and then we score a second goal, mentally the game's over. And then it's a case of damage limitation for Southampton, and it's a case for us to sort of measure our attacks and think, right, let's just get what we can in the second half. If it stays like that, rummage them and go for the kill. And I think we try to do that because we did hit the post a couple of times, but the elephant in the room, which we'll get to later, is Aubameyang. But there was another elephant that I noticed when the players were warming up was Smith Rowe on the bench, didn't get on. Then I looked over the pitch and think, right, Martinelli played well. Saka, maintained, had a game where he had the freedom of North London. Lacazette played well, and Odegaard scored 3 times in 3 games. So, he's not going to be able to walk into the side if the manager picks teams and performances today. So that's a plus side. We attacked. But as you well know, we've been at Danish Road before. We've celebrated good performances against Leicester, Villa, and Tottenham. Went on a run, but the biggest element for the room is it has to be consistent. You have to be able to put teams away. If we don't do that, then we will not get in the top 4, which I don't think you'll. And we won't get into European places. I don't. Conference shouldn't be Arsenal's litmus test and the standards. Surely not. I don't like the fact that Europa League is where we should be looking at. I don't even like the top 4. But what's happening is that to achieve both ambitions, we have to be clear call in front of goal, and goals have to come throughout the team. But one person has to put his hand up and get us at least 15 to 20 goals this season.
100%. And it don't look like anyone's capable of doing that at the minute. Maybe Odegaard, who knows? He's scored 4 this season.
He's keeping it simple. He's just doing the simple things. You're attacking player, get in the box more. And he did that.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll make it continue.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go with Ramsdale. A clean sheet, another one.
Great saves.
Very nearly got an assist for Martinelli as well when Martinelli went through. But yes. What did you make of him today?
You know what? You want your number one that the little he has to do, he's alert, he's worked hard. And, he made some good saves. Some people might say it's for the cameras, some people might say it's standard, but, he managed to, help us control the game by not, making those crucial saves. So for me, I'm going to give him a 7.
Let's go to Kieran Tierney.
Kieran Tierney today played deep today. He played really himself. He didn't get by the byline as much as Savage is. I think maybe there was a talk about maybe if Kieran Tierney's not as fit as we'd like, that it's probably not advisable for him to keep on bombing forward because obviously you don't want a situation where we've been punished because Tavares has been bombing forward and leaving gaps. So he measured his runs today, and it was like, I'll give him a 6 because it wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular, but the litmus test, or do you say the target for the match today was to last 90 minutes? So 6 would do today.
Let's go on the opposite side. Tommy Asu.
You know, Tomiyasu, what he did well. He's like a hard-working footballer, and he looks steady today. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Centre backs. Gabriel started off pretty shaky, but got better the longer the game went.
Yeah, definitely. I think Southampton ran at him, and he misplaced a few passes. But as the game got along, his fitness was good. He looked solid in defence, and obviously he did what you want the centre halves to do, especially when they're built like that. It's to score a goal. So for me, I'm giving him 7.
Yeah, decent performance in the end from him. Benjamin White.
Didn't have much to do. I think Southampton faded in the second half. I think their confidence was shot. So it was an easy day in the office for him. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Let's go into midfield. Thomas Partey still can't shoot.
Well, yeah, we don't want. He had a bit of a Johnny Ince moment, but one of the things is that Thomas had a good game. Let's just say Southampton were perfect fodder for Thomas in order to get himself into a confident manner before the derby on Wednesday. But what he did competently. I ain't going to say he played well, but he was competent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a 6.
Next to him, Granit Xhaka actually got subbed. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was going to stick his fingers up again.
Well, yeah, I think it was between. Normally, when Albert came on, it was normally the casualties always seem to be like Partey. But the fact that Partey had an easy day at the office and not fitter than what he normally did, it was probably best given 90 minutes. Xhaka, steady Eddie, doesn't let anyone down, plays deep, sprays the passes. Southampton again was perfect fodder for him. The first 20 minutes he struggled, like a lot of us did, because a lot of the team did, because Southampton were on the front foot and they were making inroads into the past their press. But as the game wore off and it got easier, Xhaka was steady. I'll give Xhaka a 6.
Let's go to Martin Odegaard. Scored 3 and 3, and
Martin Odegaard
had a couple of others.
Well, he had a good game. He wasn't quite the man in the match that that people thought he was going to play. But you know what? He's finally done what we required of him. You do not have the defensive responsibilities of your counterparts. Go and hurt the opposition. He's hurt the opposition. He's scoring goals. People probably think he's there for goal assists. I beg to differ. If you've got that kind of talent and you're getting that sort of space, one of the things I was screaming about with Mesut Ozil was get some goals. Don't defensive responsibilities. Get beyond the strikers. Get in a box, and you'll get loads of goodies and loads of rewards. And he got his rewards today. And I give him a 7.
Yeah, let's go to Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo, I thought Bukayo played a lot better than his performances. Again, he was instrumental in our first goal, and I think that in terms of Bukayo as well, he opened up his legs. There's still like aspects to his game where I think, it was a 50-50 in terms of like how he dealt with Walker Peters. But the most important thing, he created a chance. I'm going to give him a 6 today. It wasn't his best performance, but it was competent.
Yeah, it was definitely better than recent weeks anyway, that's for sure. Let's go on the opposite side. Gabriel Martinelli.
Gabriel Martinelli today looked sharp, looked like a menace, worked his nuts off. Good from set pieces in terms of taking calls. I'm going to give Gabriel Martinelli a 7. His performance, if you play like that, then the manager's got no business leaving you out of the football team. Even if we play badly, if you maintain your standards and look likely to hurt the opposition, you'll keep your pace. And I hope he does.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was superb, man. He set the tempo for me, chased everything. But let's go to Lacazette. Scored a goal.
Man of the match performance to me today. Like I said, he come off the hour, come off the man. There was a massive elephant in the room in terms of Aubameyang's form, and obviously their manager was out with him for a second disciplinary breach in the calendar year, which doesn't look good. So we need someone to step up today, and I think that Alexander, as a captain, stepped up, but not just stepped up in terms of his captaincy and leadership, but he stepped up in terms of performance, led the line very well, held the ball up very well, and you know what, scored the first goal, an excellent finish. And you know what? He brought Odegaard into the game. He brought, like I said, Saka in the game with the way his hold-up plays. And that's how you want your centre-forwards to play. the biggest bugbear for me for Alexander is the fact that he's not scoring. Hasn't scored the goals that he's scoring in La Ligue with Lyon, which is a massive disappointment. And that I like. It's such a shame that if he does leave at the end of the season, we're always going to be frustrated with Alexander because of the fact that when he plays like this today and he performs like that and he scores, there's more in the locker. But you've got to look at the situation. Is that I think that managers get the best out of certain players, and I think that our much maligned manager, who's now in Valencia, sorry, in the area of Valencia with Villarreal in the Valencia part of the Catalan, is the only manager to get the best out of Alexander. And I say that sincerely, and it's a shame that this manager hasn't done that, because if Lacazette plays like this most of the time, he'll get 20 goals a season, and we will get where we will need to be, and he'll get the best out of his good friend who's now been given an enforced rest by our manager.
Yeah, I think he was pretty good today, Laka, really good. Let's go on to the substitutes. Sambi Lokonga came on for Xhaka.
Yeah, Albert had, like I say, didn't have much to do, but what he was there was to hold his position, maintain control of the game. I'm going to give Albert a 5.
Nicola Pepe got 7 minutes.
He got 7 minutes. He wasn't able to affect the game, and I like to think that there could be minutes against West Ham and Leeds, but I think it's safe to say that he will be starting against Sunderland, and just use that opportunity wisely, because there's going to be games coming thick and fast, because you'll be going to the Cup of Nations and so you need to make the pressure before you go. But for me, I can only give him a 4. And that's just because he wasn't able to affect the game. That's not on bad performance.
Yeah, of course. Let's go with Rob Holding.
Rob Holding, came on, like I said, held everything together. Gabriel was substituted because I suppose he's got a yellow card. He don't miss West Ham. And there was a bit of argy-bargy with Teller and Walter Peters. So, it was probably the right decision to get to substitute him. But Rob's what he is on a team. Steady Eddie, doesn't let anyone down, doesn't win your games. And when he's bad, he's very bad. But today, Southampton certainly was no threat. So I'll just give him a Steady Eddie 5.
Yep. We'll both do the manager on a 3, 2, 1 countdown. 3, 2, 1, 5.
I was going to give him a 7, but I'm going to mark him down to a 6 because, his announcement of Aubameyang's misdemeanors could have derailed the team today, and it's not something. It's something he could have kept himself. Didn't have to answer the questions, but he kept his reasonable score, because in the press conference he managed to, deflect it away from the biggest elephant. But one thing I will say to Mick Arteta: sort it out quickly.
Yeah.
If it is a genuine problem that you think is going to affect the team, then make a decision and do not dither or mess around. Make a decision, make an announcement, and then let's get on with the football. If it's something that is salvageable, then by all means, have a word to the player, tell him the situation, be honest with him about where you think his performances are, tell him why you left him at, and expect a frank discussion, and we move on. But don't let this linger. Because the other day, it's Arsenal Football Club. It's not Ober Football Club. It's not Mikel Football Club. This isn't some sort of battle that you have to win publicly. Yes, you're going to win it, but make sure that the football club is the centre of the attention, and not this spat. We've been here before with Tottenham. We don't want to be going through this rubbish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. We'll discuss that more on the podcast tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK time. So make sure everyone comes and joins in on that. Kenny, what you got coming up? You got anything coming up? Any boxing tonight?
Well, it's funny to say that, because the Zone have got Katie Taylor. I have no idea about the results, so I'm sure you'll find out yourself. And then there's a main event with Chris Allegri and Conor Benn. So today, boxing's Canada's quite full at the moment. But as you say, what comes first, Arsenal or the boxing? You want to have it have it all. But Arsenal has always been my first love, and the boxing would just have to wait.
100%. Yeah, that Conor Ben's on now. I've just seen
Oh,
that now.
so Katie Taylor a fight didn't last long. I'll find out.
Oh no, actually, I got that wrong. Apologies. It's just the cover. The thumbnail is saying that he's live. Taylor's fighting now. She's actually fighting as we speak.
What round are we on?
Let's have a look. Just watching the highlights of that round. I think. Yeah, it must be the highlights of that round.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're punching lumps out of each other though. They're proper swinging.
Bloody hell, Katie Taylor's she fights like a bloke. Don't look like one, don't
you? Wouldn't want to write hook off of her, would you? Do you know what I mean? She's proper Archie, is.
I'll tell you one thing, right? I'll tell you one thing. That is one.
Oh, it's finished.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's obviously going to go to a split to a decision. So yeah, there you go. I'll let you go, Kenny. You can go and check that out, and I'll leave everyone in peace. We're out of here. I'll
We're out of here. I'll take her out.